and his family went and did the tour without him. I told him he had to, man.
That's awesome.
And he did.
This guy.
He did.
Boy, he made a smart decision.
Well,
Welcome everyone to episode 164 of The Mashup, the best bourbon conversation we hear all week long. We're your hosts, Kenny, Anthony, aka Tony, and Steven. Hello, Tony.
Hello, how are you? Oh my God.
what's up?
Kenny.
What's up, homie?
This is attempt 3 to start this episode.
Yeah.
What's up, homie?
Sometimes things happen when we're trying to record and there's spillage. It carries over where I just can't keep myself composed. So that's always a fault of you guys. Loving to get together. So how are you fellas doing?
I'm good, man.
Great.
Chilling.
Do you guys think we should start off with a mystery pour tonight?
I know what your mystery pour is, so
Okay. Well, I've been carrying this around.
I would mystery pour that to Steven.
Just have a tiny bit. Okay,
Sure.
here. You pour as much as you'd like.
You
okay?
pour it, it's fine.
And then I have a story about it once
That's good.
once you have it. Here you go. Here's your mystery pour.
Why does it look like a vial of urine?
Anthony was up for review at the esteemed university recently.
That's a part
So he
of
probably had to take a drug test.
This is part of the
Leftover
thing here.
drug test
This
sample.
does look like pee, doesn't it?
That's what he bought
Yeah.
off of the dude
So
behind Waffle
Smells like
House.
pee too.
I brought a mystery pour for y'all to try to start us off tonight because I care about you both so much that I wanted you to try this delicious whiskey, and then I'm going to tell you where I got
All
it here in
right,
a
so
second.
it smells like watered down Tang.
What is the watered down tank? What are you getting over there,
And
Kenny?
you can't say I'm wrong.
I'm getting something a little different.
Okay.
I'm getting Tang that's been watered down. That's what I'm getting.
So it smells like watered down Tang. So you're telling me it's orange, right? Is that what you're getting here?
Well, as a child, they ate a lot of meat and cheese.
Where's the orange juice coming?
I used to have to be on the Metamucils as a young
Oh,
child,
there you go.
so it could be a orange Metamucil as
Metamucil.
well.
Oh my God, this is ridiculous. So I can't. Have either of you tried this yet?
No. I mean, it's Tang. We know what it tastes like.
Oh man,
I'm going to go in for a taste.
you're not even gonna believe it. This is great. A taste before the episode.
I mean, this is not bourbon.
That is very good.
Okay.
It's really, really, really sweet and,
Right.
and syrupy.
Syrup.
No, I mean this is you put this in a rocks glass,
Right.
and you have a cocktail.
There you go. Do you guys have a guess of what this is? And if you know,
I know it is. I'm not
you
gonna
know
say
it is
anything.
because I told.
Is it an old-fashioned mixer?
It's not. This is actually a product that I got from Kroger. That was an end of bin clearance product. Complete impulse. I saw it on the shelf and it was $12, I think, and 83 cents. This is Jim Beam Orange. So Jim Beam makes an orange bourbon, and I was actually shocked
what's
at the
the proof on
quality.
this?
It's
80?
I think 65.
Oh, okay.
65 proof.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of shocked by the quality. This is like kind of vanilla, orange, and oaky, and I
I
can
wonder how
totally.
much sugar they added to it.
I mean,
They had
it's
to
a
add
lot.
sugar to it.
Like
I mean,
a lot.
yeah.
But no, it's good, but it's just like a cocktail.
it's
I mean, it really
desserty.
is. You could put this on a rocks glass. You can put it in a rocks glass
Yeah.
on ice.
And vanilla ice cream.
Do you know what I was thinking about this though? I was thinking like total Keeneland Breeze. Just put it on the rocks, add some orange juice to it, add some ginger ale to it. You might have a mixer
There you
for
go.
Keeneland Breeze.
Next time.
So anyway, I'm so glad I could share that with you guys. And then
Man, I am too. Thank you.
There's one thing that Kenny loves is non-alcoholic bourbon.
it actually tastes like cream soda, doesn't it? Like orange and cream
is
soda
orange.
mixture. Yeah, very. So
So
anyway,
sugary, it's giving me the heartburns.
now that I've ruined your guys' night, I wanted to tell you about a recent experience that I had. Can both of you indulge me on that real quickly?
Man, the way the show's gone so far,
It only can go up from here.
and the 4 attempts it took just to even get the show started, this is going to be interesting.
So my wife, bless her, she's such a nice person.
Boy. All right.
She's always trying to get me to like do nice things. So when we were on one of the vacations, I remember she was like, "They have this spa thing. Like you should maybe go get a manicure, pedicure." I've never had that before, and I said, "No,
Did you get a facial?
can't do that. No, never had that either."
Okay.
Right. So anyway, I think maybe in my life I've had a handful, like maybe 5 massages total. Like total. Now, a lot of people get regular massage because they're tense and they got whatever going on. So my wife said, "I want to get you a massage. I belong to this place. You can use one of my part of the massage package." I said, "Sure." So she says, "They can get you in tomorrow." I'm like, "All right, well, tomorrow. That's great." Because I was pretty like full muscle in my back. My shoulder was hurting and stuff. I'm like, "That's great. Do you want a male or a female massage? You like masseuse?" Masseuse, is that what it is? It's a masseuse.
And I said, like a chocolate dessert.
That's a mousse cake.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Chocolate mousse.
Sorry.
It's like, Kenny, we never, after that orange shot, you're over here thinking about sweets, right? So I actually said, I think every other time I've gotten a massage has been a female. So I said, I want to have a male because maybe a male would be able to like actually give me a better massage. So I went there, and while I was getting my massage, the guy was like, there's some guys that don't like coming here to get massaged by another guy. And I'm like, why not? Like, I actually think he did a great job. I think it was the best massage I've ever had. And you guys are both looking at me like I'm strange right now. But I didn't know that was a thing. I thought like we've certainly progressed to a point where like nobody can be judged. You're going to get a service after all, right? And so I don't know, thoughts. I mean, what do we think here? You guys looking at me. I feel like you're both against me.
How does your back
here.
feel?
It feels great.
Good. I'm glad you had a good. Then that was a very good decision for you.
Yeah. No, shoulders feel great. Back feels great. I mean, I had a great massage. Like. I mean, I just thought like this, people make too big of a deal out of this. Like, it's fine. You got a massage. I got a massage. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, but I guess the fact that he told me that people care made me think like, who cares? Like, why should I care?
Oh boy. All right. I'm going to say in general, I do prefer a massage by a woman.
Okay.
I do have a local guy named Philip that I do get massages from occasionally.
Okay.
He does an amazing job, and he is kind of, I guess it's one of those things where a lot of the times when I get a massage, it's more than just like a grip. So using leverage of the elbow, leverage of this, leverage of that. Right. So the woman versus man thing's not as big a deal, like just because the guy in general is stronger.
Right.
But
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like a long time ago, originally, I went to, I got in a car wreck. It wasn't my fault. Somebody else hit me. So I had to go to the chiropractor, not my normal chiropractors, like for the insurance part and all that crap. I had to get a massage as part of it, and the person I wasn't getting a massage from was not there. So it was a guy that did it.
Yep.
And I stopped the massage after about 3 minutes. I was like, nah, man, this ain't happening.
Really?
Like,
was it too rough or what?
No. It was very weird. Anthony, take a look at Steven's head here.
Okay. I'm looking at it.
You see his beautiful hair?
Yeah, beautiful, by the way. Yes.
This dude's arms were that hairy. And it freaked the crap out of me. So I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. I couldn't do it.
So we've learned that you can be massaged by a man, but not a man that looks like a gorilla like me.
It was freaking
like
it was wild, dude. So, let the cancellation of Kenny Mills begin here. But I do prefer a female massage. I don't mind Philip massaging. It's not bad.
There you go.
That's where I stand. And oh boy,
Steven, you got to weigh in now. The audience is on they're waiting.
I haven't had one in a long, long time.
Really? Maybe you should go see the person I saw.
But I've always had a female.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Did that cross your mind though? Did you have to make a decision? Like, think to yourself, like, what if I go in there and
I've just always said female.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
see your point on being maybe stronger,
right?
But
and to me, it's almost like medical, right? Like you're not going in there because like you're.
Well, that's the thing for me. Why it's not weird necessarily getting massaged by a guy, because if I go, I'm not going for this is the feel good. I need just to know. Because something is tight, something's jacked up, something hurting. Get in there and work it out.
Right.
So I really don't care whether it's a guy or a girl, to be honest with you, for that part.
Dude told me that my shoulder and that was so tight that he literally could have spent just an hour on that.
Well, imagine if you didn't take 7 vacations a year, how tight you'd be.
So I think the moral of the story is
to remember Anthony loves TotalWine.com.
Remember that website.
Yes, remember.
And also, if you have to choose between getting a massage and you can't make that decision and it's too nerve-wracking for you, take yourself over to Kroger and get you a bottle of Jim Beam Orange on clearance for $12.83 and give it a think, right? Because that's all you need to do is clear your mind, have a little shot of some watered-down Tang.
There you go.
And with that...
Thanks for listening. Well, it's about that time again, fellas. We have another review.
Oh,
Looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. Let's go.
I love that. It's great.
All right.
So this is a review left for us on Apple Podcasts. Like I mentioned, we have a flurry of reviews. And the title of this review was Binging the Mashup Makes for a Good Road Trip. And this reviewer said, crushed episodes 145 through 150 during a recent road trip from Lexington to North Carolina. Great stuff, as always. Now I have to find a bottle of the Holiday 18-barrel blend. Little smiley face emoji. BK from NC via Apple Podcasts. That's who this review is left by, was BK from NC. So
I believe I know who BK is, but since he did not leave his name, I will not say who that is.
there you go. But
BK, I believe, sipped over here a few weeks ago.
Really?
I believe so, but we'll, I think so.
Kenny's still manufacturing the reviews.
Yep.
He's saying maybe he sipped over here.
I
Yeah.
got so many alts, dog.
There you go.
It wasn't me, though.
Dude,
It really wasn't me.
incognito. Well, we certainly appreciate that review.
As always, leave us a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify or now Amazon. And next time we record, we'll give you a shout out.
Oh, yeah, we're on Amazon now.
We
That's
are.
right. We're on Amazon streaming, and we're going to be on YouTube and other platforms as well. We didn't realize when we started this podcast that we had to, move our RSS feed to other places as well. So you'll be able to find us in more spots soon.
Interesting.
Put more reviews out there, too.
I think we might start some videos soon, too.
Oh, videos? Are you previewing that we might get more multifaceted here on the mashup?
I think we might.
Well,
Why not,
the first video is going to be the debut of my single that focuses on Blanton. So whenever we get around to recording that, I previewed it for you the other night when I was over here sipping. I don't know if you remember or not. You probably don't, do you?
I don't know. I don't know. But if we start doing videos, we're going to have to put clothes on. So it's going to be a different recording of the podcast now.
We can't do skins versus shirts anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's just comfortable sitting around in your underwear. So,
Especially in the summertime.
It's hot out right now, so
is.
that's why I'm trying to make sure that I have less clothing on. So,
I thought you had a sweater on.
ooh, are you commenting on my manly furs? I love it. See,
Furs.
it all comes together here. Won't be giving Kenny any massages.
No, you would not.
Go ahead, Steven. Try to get into it now.
They didn't have to take a weed whacker to that before they started going back?
Boy.
Well, guys, for this week, we have a bottle of Four Roses Barrel Strength Father's Day bottle.
Oh, the Father's Day bottle. So this comes
Is this a
to
rye?
Us.
Is this a rye?
Right, do you ask?
Rye. What do you guys?
Is it not a rye?
No, it's not a rye. It's bourbon.
Four Roses don't make a rye. I was just messing with you.
You're killing me over here. So this comes to us from the Four Roses Distillery.
Wow.
The bottle date is 2024. The ABV is 67.8. I can't do the proof calculation. What is that, like 135 something or other? I don't have it written down.
135.6.
135.6. Thank you, math man.
Yes.
The age is 16 years, and that's stated on the bottle, with a little handsome note that we'll talk about here in a second from Master Distiller Brent Elliott. The mash bill is 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% malted barley. The recipe of this bourbon is actually the OESV. And this was a distillery-only release. The MSRP, Kenny, because you were out at the distillery.
$1.99.
$1.99 plus tax.
$1.99 a yard of your mind.
But the enthusiast markets have it listed right now between $500 and $700 hairs.
Wow.
Right?
The enthusiast market is between 650 to not really. If you get lucky, 650, 7 to 850.
Oh, I thought there was some local that went lower for that.
Well, here's what happened. As with anything.
Okay,
As with
here we
anything.
go. Okay, all right.
So when something very first comes out, hits the market on the secondary, the price is incredibly high.
Right.
Locally, though, on something like this, you'll find some of those quick sellers, short sellers. They were there and grabbed an extra bottle. They just want to get out of it real quick.
Right.
So a few of those went for $450 to $500.
Okay. That's what I was thinking
However,
of.
then the price quickly rebounded back that exact same day to $650 to $750.
Okay.
And you see, the cheapest I could find after that, a couple of people, like I said, some people did list $450 to $500, and they got binned within 10 seconds to 1 minute of the post being up.
Mega bin.
But then anything that was kind of like more along the regular pricing was $650 to $750.
Okay, so this is an expensive bottle if you want to get your hands on it. If you weren't lucky enough to be at the distillery the morning that it released, and I think it released about 4 days before Father's Day or 3 days?
No, it was a Saturday the week before.
Oh, Saturday the week before. So it was actually 6 full, 7 full, 8 days. I can't do math, man.
But you can communicate really well.
Communications.
That's right.
I have a degree in communications.
That's right.
All right, there we go. Fantastic.
Might have been 2 weeks before. I don't even know now. Time horrible with time.
It wasn't 2 weeks.
Was it 1 week?
No, it was 1 week.
Okay.
Because I was on vacation. So Steven,
Here we go again.
And everybody was texting about it, and I was like, "Well, I couldn't get the
go.
bottle if I wanted to because I'm not there to drive my butt out to Lawrenceburg anyway."
I
So
went
it
into
didn't
work
matter.
late that day so I could go get some.
Right, and I think that you were one of the people that was able to. Took your wife, right? So you were able to get one bottle with her and one bottle. For
She
you.
would not go with me.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
So, but
Oh,
they
I
did
thought she does.
But they had a 2-bottle.
Oh, you 2-bottle limit?
Some of the previous ones is only 1-bottle limit. You could get 2 bottles. So I was
that's-
able to get 2 bottles.
I was about to badmouth Four Roses, but how nice of them to think about the fact that what if you're a son and you want to get one for your dad and you want to, your dad's not with you. They say 1 bottle, so they gave you 2, so you can get one for your dad. There you go. Or you can, get one for your uncle or your grand. Maybe your grand wants one. Your mama.
Maybe your masseuse wants one.
Maybe your masseuse. Anyway, well,
Chocolate masseuse.
anything about that bottle that you want to talk about?
You got to tip them. So.
Just once again, every Four Roses traditional will look the same. Whether it's single barrel 100 proofer, the barrel proofs, this proof or that proof, the whatever. But it's the sticker on the side where you can really tell what it's about.
Right.
So,
What does that sticker say there?
sticker is special. It said, it's a visitor center private selection.
Okay.
Raise a glass to the man who raised you well. Happy Father's Day 2024. OESV 16 years. Brent Elliott, Master Distiller.
All right.
Nice.
What do you think, Steven? Do you like that?
Yeah.
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 Do we know why Four Roses picked Father's Day? Because this is like what have they done this before?
I mean, there was a Father's Day bottle, I believe, released before, or maybe it was a Mother's Day model released. I think they had a Father's Day before.
I think it was Father's Day
I think
before.
they had Father's Day.
And they've done other things
They had the 18 and a half year K recipe that was called the Holiday bottle.
Right.
They had that 16-year, 6-month Flood bottle.
Right.
And they had the 20-year Visitor Center bottle.
That was for the opening of the new visitor
of the
center.
Lawrenceburg one. And those are like the most recent releases that they've had.
Right.
And then they had that really, really, really good K that was the commemorative bottle released when they opened the Cox's Creek location.
Okay.
And I think they did have a Father's Day before, a couple things. But this is the first one in a while. I guess this is probably the first one since that holiday bottle from a year and a half ago or something. 2 years ago, a year and a half ago.
All right.
But this one, what makes this so unique, you mentioned the proof on this. So this is 67.8% ABV.
Right.
They've never done anything this high proof ever.
Really?
Like ever.
Wow.
Never ever. Forever ever? Never ever.
Little Outcast reference going on there.
Man, I tell you.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Love it. Come on, Steven, get in on this. So anyway.
Nothing, Steven?
Nothing?
I got nothing.
You know what?
All right, bro.
I was getting carried away with singing the Outcast. Miss Jackson.
I love Outcast,
Yeah,
man.
that's good jams.
Good.
Anyway, one thing I will say, and I hate to keep talking about writing on a bottle versus print on a bottle, but Four Roses about, I would say a year ago, decided to go away from their handwritten, maybe more than that, handwritten proof and things on the label, and now they've automated it to make it printed, where it says the proof and everything, which, again, to me, just whatever. Like Kenny said the one episode, make it actually a cursive or something. Make it exciting
That's
for
what I
us,
would do.
So it looks like it's handwritten, and that'll make me feel better.
It's very typewriter-y.
Yeah, it's very right. So it just doesn't seem to have that personal touch. And then Are they replacing the leather neck tags now around the top of the bottle? Is that something that's going to happen soon?
I've heard it might happen, but I haven't seen it yet.
And they put this.
But what they did add that I really like is the rose etched on the very top of the cork.
It's nice.
We noticed that with one of our previous picks we talked about.
Yeah.
I do like that. What's wild is the backlash online that this bottle got.
Why did it get backlash? I missed all that, by the way.
So,
Steven, did you see the backlash?
I was all over the place.
Really?
Yeah,
Am I the only one that missed it?
I guess so.
Four Roses has a huge following. More of like what you can say a cult following.
Right.
Not a big following like how Buffalo Trace does. Like where it can be, Buffalo Trace has a lot of longtime bourbon guys and new beginners. And I think everybody that gets into bourbon initially is a huge Buffalo Trace follower, chaser, tater, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
Four Roses has more like you're kind of nerd out about it. You're into it that way.
Yeah.
And I think that they really hate to see the pricing points jump like crazy on some of these Four Roses releases. So, everyone so when the bottles even locally, we're going for $750. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'll give you $400 for it."
Right.
Or on natty sites when people are like ISO national shipped at $500 and $600, even though they're going from that locally. People really try to push hard to not let Four Roses creep up into some of those secondary prices, like how some of the more allocated bottles are.
Right.
So it's kind of wild to see that backlash on that. For me, it is at least because sometimes if something, this is what we're going to try here in a little bit, but this is 16 years old, right? 135 proof.
Right.
It's high up there.
GTS last year, 16 years old, 135 proof.
Oh, that's very true.
And no one bats an eye the fact that that's $750 a bottle.
Right, because it's BT.
Right. So it's kind of funny how things work like that. How people have their thoughts and processes on that.
Proclivities.
I had a blind tonight.
Yes.
To go against this.
Yep.
But
you're not going to do
After
it.
Anthony's, you're blown away.
No, I'm going to do that blind, but I didn't even think about it until I just said it right now.
Yeah.
It'd been cool to blind you guys with GTS against this because last year's GTS was 16-year 135 proof. This is 16-year 135. So that'd have been pretty cool to do blind that way, but that's not what the blind is, though.
Okay. There is a blind, though?
Man, you know me, dog.
Oh.
Always a blind.
Well, should we go for our first nosing?
Let's nose it.
That would be great. That would be great.
This is like dank and dark. I don't know if musty is the right word, but
You can also smell the proof.
it's
Yeah. Basement funk, and because I'm a weirdo,
you get marzipan.
no marzipans.
No marzipan.
It's that butterscotch.
There's butterscotch, and there's also
Kind of real buttery butterscotch.
there's buttery butterscotch, but I'm getting like a confectioner, like almost like a not the kind of bubble yum that you wanted, but like a weird tropical fruit, almost kind of a bubble yum that's coming through to me. So I'm getting a little bit of a gum confectioner note.
The gum that kind of like Big League with the powder on it.
Something like that. I was just saying tropical bubble yum because
But you're talking about the
like
powder
fruity.
being on the stick.
Right.
Yes.
Like a fruity powder.
I got you.
funky Butterscotch. It's got a lot going on. There's a lot in this nose. Woo! Kenny, can I just say right now, I'd like to publicly thank you, even though I don't enough, for the fact that you go to these releases and grab these bottles because of vacation, I'd never be able to get to one.
That's true.
And even if I wasn't on vacation, I would have the attitude of, oh, well, I bet you they're sold out already. Like half the people are, I can't go out there. I bet you it's sold out already. But I guess if you went out there, I think it took about 3 hours, right, for it to sell out?
No, I think it was less than that.
But some people
Jason got there, man.
He got there, but he got
Maybe
there
too late.
He got there too late.
He was there just an hour and a half after opening, maybe.
Okay, well, I feel bad
2 hours?
because Jason's a guy that really enjoys Four Roses, and if anybody should have got a bottle, he should have got a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there was rumor that some people went through the line 4 times. If that's the case, that some people went through the line 4 times, then Four Roses needs to improve their process because
Did they have like a deli sandwich? They just couldn't get enough.
it's a pimento cheese. It's a pimento cheese. But no, seriously, if they had a process like that and they weren't like, then somebody got 8 bottles that day, if that's the case, that shouldn't happen. If they're already letting you have 2, they should have been better at policing that. But that's my personal perspective.
Yeah, I mean, they don't scan license. So, Buffalo Trace does.
Right, I know. And
but neither does Woodford.
that's true.
So
they
whenever
don't.
Woodford, I mean,
I know. I've walked out of Woodford before.
Heaven
with license
Hill
bottles.
and
I'm
Buffalo
not trying to be a
Trace.
hypocrite. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If they're not going
Yeah.
to scan your license, what are they going to do to like you? They're going to call you out, not have you buy it.
Oh,
Right.
they've called people. No, I've been in line when
Have
someone behind me or in front of me, it was their second time through, and they happen to be like distinctive looking.
Okay.
And someone in line called, like, no, you just came through. Get
Oh,
out of
that's
line.
good.
Okay.
That's good. So there is a little bit of that.
But think about it, though. Heaven Hill and Buffalo Trace are the only two I know of that actually do that.
Right.
So I mean, so I was not sure that this bottle was going to get released. I heard it might be, but it was not sure. So they opened up at 9, and I got there, I think, at like 8:15, and I was pretty far back in line. So honestly, man, if I'd have been towards the front of the line, I ain't gonna lie, I'd have gone back a second time.
Oh, absolutely.
But
I'm not.
I didn't, because by the time I got through the line was still very long, and I had to get to work. But if I was towards the front of the line, I would have gone through second time. But I did hear people went through multiple times. But I mean, it's just the thing that stinks is, I would have gone through a second time, and I would have drinking all 4 bottles.
Right.
So, but like I said, I don't call people out, because I 100% have sold bottles for profit. And
Right.
So I'm not calling anybody out. But a lot of people that went through multiple times also have no intention on drinking any of it either. So, it's one of those things where they could definitely adapt a system like Buffalo Trace, I don't know if they wanted to, but, it just probably costs a little extra money. And
Yeah. You pick anything else up on that nose over there?
No, I was
Steven?
trying to. I think I got some sort of like bitter chocolate, but I was trying to pick up like you normally get some fruits out of it.
Right.
And I was trying to find those, but
That's
I've yet
nice.
to find them.
It's kind
Yeah,
of
we
nice.
got a lot out of
I
it.
think y'all are onto something, though. It is more of a candied sweetness
Right.
than it is like a dark fruit sweetness.
Yeah. Like a lighter
I got-
confectioner sugars.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Well, that sounds pretty good. It's funny, Stephen, I had to go through the mental Rolodex here, as I often do, because as we do more episodes, I oftentimes forget about where we've journeyed from.
Yeah.
And I know we did the small batch select a long time ago. That was the one that was like a newer release at the time when they brought that to market, like the little higher proof, different recipes, $50, $60 bottle. I think we all passed on that. I don't think any of us really liked the small batch select. We've done barrel strength, like a regular pick, and we've done SMBLE, the small batch limited, twice. We did one where it was me, you, and Michael, and then we did 135 fifth when it was us three. And I know I really was upset that I missed on the 135th this year. Didn't get a bottle of that, but it's pretty interesting to think about it. And of course, we went on a pick to Four Roses, and we got those delicious OBSK pick.
QS88s,
the
baby.
QS88s, which anytime I see them now, I'm trying to get them. And I did get, I think, 2 others, which I'm interested to try. Which one was House of Bourbon Railbird pick?
I'll just say,
Yeah.
they had a QS88. It was a tier 4, I think.
I think so. I don't have it in my possession yet, but I'm excited.
I tasted it last week. It was actually really
Pretty good?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was. I still didn't buy one just because I've got so many of our pick.
Yep.
So I'm really trying to.
How many barrels away from us was it?
It was a tier 4, so it was several even
Oh, that's
levels
right. We were
down
in
too.
six. That's right.
We were
Yeah,
6.
But if it was a QS88 tier 6, I still would have probably bought it. Not to be a tier
whore?
chaser.
Tier horror.
That's what I call it. Yeah, tier horse. But I was trying to keep it, But I really have tried to change where, since I've already got several QS88s that are more emotionally tied to me because I did the pick, that I kind of like passed on that one. But it was very, very good. Forget the fact that it's a tier 4. It was actually very delicious. So since you have a bottle that you haven't picked it up yet, you will be happy that you got it.
Okay.
Like dead serious.
That's good. What tier was this? We missed that. I don't think we talked about it. Is this a tier 6?
So this one is controversial. What?
Oh.
This is a tier 3.
How's a tier 3 135 proof?
Well, here's the thing.
Ah.
There's been some tang.
Tang? Did you say tang?
Tang.
Oh.
There's been
You want
some
some tang? I got
watered
some
down
for
tang.
Tang.
No, there's been some things come out from some employees there that supposedly Four Roses might release an official press statement, but
Is this mislabeled?
supposedly this might be a tier 6.
It has to be.
But it is. So what they did.
It's very darky.
Well, they had several tier 6s, and they had a tier 6 that was this exact proof right here as well.
Okay.
And then they had some tier 6s that were a little bit higher proof than this. But there was a tier 3 that was lower proof, I think a 128 or something. This tier 3 is still that same exact proof of that big as that tier 6.
Right.
And honestly, if Four Roses doesn't come out and officially say something, then you're just going to roll this as a tier 3 and call it a day. You can't just go off rumors. But there's some employees that said that some misinformation was given from whoever had pulled those to the person that did the labeling or did this or did that.
Right.
But that's the little controversy. So by the time this episode releases, we'll see if anything's come out from Four Roses or not on that. But it's kind of interesting. But this is a tier 3 officially. So officially it's a tier 3.
So what would they do on secondary? That came to be true. It's mislabeled and
I don't know if it would change the
air bottle.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. Right. I don't know if it would actually just.
I need these in search of.
Well, because I actually picked some up locally on the secondary.
Yeah.
And I was able to grab some tier 3s for less than what the tier 6s were going for. So I don't know if it would just make these the same price as tier 6s or if because it's in quote unquote air, if it would like said even jump up even more or not. But I said, I'm rolling with tier 3 because that's what's on the bottle, and Four Roses hadn't said anything officially. But that's the only potential controversy thing.
Kenny Mills, master of malt. I mean, of bourbon. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking
Lies.
about. Lies. All lies. Facts optional. Facts optional.
Master of the Cuban. Well, I know that.
Cuban sandwich from Randall's. We haven't mentioned Randall lately, but
We
Kenny bought the whole. So Randall tried to
whole
make
allotment of them, I
yeah,
think.
special sandwich,
Bought 10 of them.
and he bought all of them and put them on a secondary.
Yeah, I've enjoyed those, man.
They actually sold a bottle and wrapped the outside of it with Cubans to protect it.
There you go.
It's been nice to have a Cuban like every 2 or 3 days.
Oh yes,
I want the meatball. When's the meatball
Take
coming
it out of the. Oh, I got that information. Hang on. No, I got it.
It's
Hang on
hot.
a second.
Here
Hang
you
on a
go.
second.
Meatball coming up for
I'm
you.
pulling it up here on the old Facebook Messenger. Give me 1 second here, and I will tell you.
My wife wants the
Ooh,
banh mi po' boy, shrimp po' boy thing that they had.
That's an everyday thing, though, right?
No, that's a special once in
okay.
a while too.
All right, so everybody knows, we can't just record and put it out the same day. So by the time this airs, that will be boom, boom. By the time this airs, the meatball will be out this week. Oh. So
Well, should we go for first taste?
I want to really bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's I go for
Because
it.
this nose is rich.
Tommy Richmond. This tastes too good to be good for you. It almost has a medicinal flavor.
Now this is medicinal cherry.
Yeah, it's medicinal. My goodness. Wow, medicinal.
This is medicinal cherry, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's very cherry, very medicinal. I don't want to call it the oak. I'm trying to figure out the oak because at first, follow me on this, I thought maybe it was a little over oaked.
Right.
But
Man, I don't
now,
think it's, yeah.
Now I'm
No,
going to take a second sip, though, to see.
I don't think it's over oaked.
Where
but
it goes.
It is a big flavor.
Yes.
man.
It is a big flavor.
Large.
So I blinded
Huge.
2 very experienced bourbon people with this last week.
Okay.
And it was double blind for them, so they had no idea. But to their credit, man, one of them or both of them said, it tasted like a really well-aged, higher-proof MGP, which is basically true. And then the other one says kind of reminded them of an old turkey, which to me is very true because it's a medicinal cherry. And I get medicinal cherry on a lot of older turkeys too. But this basically, this is an OESV, the V recipe. So if anybody's had MGP is the same V recipe. And it's the same V yeast strain.
Really?
So that's
not know that.
Yeah. So MGP Seagram's owned Four Roses before Four Roses.
Right.
So Four Roses is 20% rye and 35% rye.
Oh, yep.
MGP is 21 and 36. But when you look on the barrels of MGP when they come to the distillery,
Right.
it has the V on there. It's the same
really?
yeast strain.
Yeah.
So when my two people I blinded guessed, an older MGP, they really aren't off very far.
Right.
So
Ultimately, did they like it? No, don't tell me. You got to tell me afterwards if they liked it.
no,
or
no,
not.
they liked it. Yeah.
Okay. Because,
And this is, but it's so medicinal cherry. It's wild.
yeah. And,
Leva Bomb.
I like cherry, but, well, I don't know. I want to save that. We can do a deep dive on the analysis of this. Am I crazy? I think a little bit of the finish is a little bit, when I say over oaked, I almost feel like the oak is a little tannic on the finish, like a slight bit.
On the backside of the throat?
Yeah, it's almost like spreads to the sides of the tongue a little bit.
See, I get some oakiness, but I don't get like over oaked or tannic. But everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different.
Right. I'm not certain.
But I get like too tannic, too oaky on like 13th Colony's double oak. and stuff like that. So I feel I'm a little more sensitive to that. And
How dare you?
This doesn't come across like that to me.
13th Colony Double Oaked is a treat.
It is there. Sandler. Sound like Billy Madison there.
I was kind of losing a little bit, but it's good. It's just interesting. Not quite sure how I feel about it.
Speaking of Adam Sandler,
I feel like
don't you have a cool story about that?
Yes, but I want to hear what
listeners
Steven
wanna hear
wants to
about
say
it.
about that real quick.
All right, go.
I feel like I'm not going to get much flavor out of it because it is kind of oaky.
Yeah.
Even though I know we were talking about that. I get the cherry.
The cherry's massive. It's like a massive cherry note.
And I'm trying to put my finger on another note I'm getting out of it. But other than that, I'm not getting much out of it.
Right.
Besides, it is a big flavor in your mouth.
Yep. And Kenny, what you were saying right before Steven was saying that is what about Adam Sandler? I do have a story.
Give me a really cool story. I thought it was neat.
Right. So I think I've mentioned this to our listeners before. I do get that I look like Adam Sandler quite a bit. More so than, the average, like, oh, so-and-so thinks you look like this person every once a year. Like, I get multiple times a year, depending on when releases are and other things of his movies, but I get that a lot. So I recently took my son to the Mark Pope father-son UK basketball camp, and I had no idea what to expect because I guess they've been putting this camp on for like 13 years or something.
Yeah.
Like, did all through the Cal era and everything else. And so I had no context. I take my son, and he's excited to be there. And the second day that we were at camp was the day we got to go in the craft center with the practice facilities, and all the players were there and everything else. So we go to this shooting station, and it's Kerr, Chrissa, and Jackson Robinson, and then one of the assistant coaches that are running this session. So I'm standing there like paying attention to the coach talking and instructing us on what they're supposed to do. And I see out of the corner of my eye, Kerr and Jackson like kind of laughing and like joking around. And I'm like, what are these guys doing? So when I'm not paying attention, all of a sudden I feel an arm around me. and
it's Diddy. Oh, never mind. Sorry, go ahead.
Could have been. Well, it's Kurt Chrissa, and he goes, and a lot of people will say like, "Hey, man, you know when I talk about D.L. Hughley, like you look like Adam Sandler." He said to me like in this deadpan way, he's like, "You look like Adam Sandler, right?" And he's a funny guy to begin with. Like get to know their personalities because they talk and stuff like that. And I just started laughing, and I said, "Oh yeah, man, I hear it all the time." And then Jackson Robinson's over there laughing. They're having a great time, and it was really funny because then for the rest of the drill, he called me Adam, of course.
Oh,
like,
awesome.
and then he got to play. Like my son got to like try to score a layup against him and stuff. So God, when you bring that up, man, I'm really excited for UK basketball. And I know it's like what. It's freaking July basically, and they're not playing a game till November. And
that was
excited.
recently, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I just-
it was recently. Yeah,
I just took my son this past week to the Stoops football camp.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, how was that?
Well, I just dropped them off all day,
Okay.
but they got a picture with Stoops, like all of them, and they were on teams and did the drill. I dropped them off in Kroger Field on the field,
Sweet.
and I picked them up at the practice facility.
Man.
They made lunch for him and everything.
See, I
and they,
love the fact they do that stuff.
and they went into the weight room. He's like, it was big, and they were playing loud music.
Stoops is a bourbon guy.
yeah, he
We
is,
need to get him
yeah.
over here.
Did we get Stoops in the basement?
Dude,
we
that'd
could
be
bring
awesome.
that
That
off.
would.
Yeah, we'll pull it
That'd
off.
be awesome.
Yeah,
Talk about a top episode.
We need to do that.
yeah.
That'd be awesome.
We'll get Stoops down here, and hopefully nothing bad will come of it.
We got Stoops and Cash down here.
Oh yeah, Cash. Is he still around? Is Cash Daniel still around?
I don't know.
There you go. Yeah, they went around on the bus for a while. They were doing a tour. That's when Kenny got me that bottle signed to Tater. Tater.
right,
Remember
to
that?
Tater.
To Tater. Yep, that's my claim. Everyone's like, "Oh, well, who's the signature on this bottle?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Mark Stoops, but it says to Tater because I have great friends." All right.
I went back for another sip.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a big flavor bomb. I like it. I enjoy it. But it is a strong medicinal cherry, so I can see where that is just the predominant
Yep.
note. But I mean, it doesn't mean I don't like it. I actually enjoy it a lot.
It's dominating. It's a dominator.
Yeah.
So, gents, before we do pass, try, buy, Kenny, do you have any blinds for this, or you just want us to go straight
No,
forward?
I've got a blind, and unlike the previous episodes where I try to
Right.
blind you and then mix them up back and forth, this flavor is so dominant and strong.
There's no
and you
way.
all have such good palates.
You can't blind that.
You can't blind it. So this is something else I'm going to pour that we can contrast.
Okay.
but there's no reason to try to like mix up left and right and pick one, blah, 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 because that is such a dominant, strong medicinal cherry that you are not going to, you can't blind it.
You just pour ginger ale. The sugars are dancing on this blind.
Yeah, and I need to find someone local with one of the tier 6s open on this, and then maybe another tier 3 that's lower proof. And
officially tier 6.
Yeah, just to try to. I mean, because I would like to compare three or four of these to each other. You know,
right?
Because I had several of the 16-year flood bottles, several of the 20-year visitor center bottles.
I remember liking the 20-year visitor center.
I liked it a lot, but. What I'm saying, when I had those, although there was like multiple barrels, when I tasted them, they were pretty close to each other. So I mean, I think when Brent pulled those, that he probably still had a somewhat similar or somewhat taste profiled them, you know,
in mind, yes,
in mind, yeah. Because even though I had like 4 different barrels of the 20-year and 3 or 4 different barrels of the 16-year, man, they were all so close to each other. So I'd be interested to see how. This release, how it tastes amongst some different barrels.
So as per the usual, you give a blind that presents a different side of a story. I think the blind is like, well, you haven't tried it yet, Stephen, have you?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to say anything then. I think the blind's different. That's all I can say without describing it. And I will describe it, but I think that Four Roses distillery only ultra-aged, ultra-premium releases are probably some of the most scarce things. Like, how many bottles do you think they released?
I was told 900 or less. Might even been less.
So 900 or less,
700.
No national distribution. That's
right.
Why they're commanding such a high price.
Yeah, it might have been even less than that.
It's pretty simple.
It's really good. This blind.
It is, and
the nosing I can't get if it's a light cherry Coke or Dr. Pepper.
I was actually about to say,
I get some soda out of it, but I can't tell which one it is.
I thought it was like effervescent Coke, cola.
Okay, then maybe like a very light cherry Coke.
Yeah, like that's what I was going to say. Like it just has a different.
Not like the European diet cherry Coke, light. Just saying light on the cherry part of it. Who's the listener in the Europe? Remember we had one?
Well, Ben is in Australia.
We have an Australian listener. I think we do have a European listener.
Yeah, that we did. Because I was going to say I don't want for our...
Well, let me take this moment to tell our international listening audience, we really appreciate you because, you're in another country.
Because it blows my mind.
Yeah, it blows my mind that you're listening to us.
I checked Chartable a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we were they call it charting.
Yes.
In Taiwan.
I saw that, and I was thinking to myself, who's listening to us in Taiwan?
Cavalon, baby. The Cavalon episode.
There you go. That's a Taiwanese whiskey. There you go. Exactly.
That's pretty funny.
Perfect. Well, I think we should evaluate this whiskey and then talk about the blind. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine. Because, like I said, after tasting this.
Yep.
And so here's something I will tell. I haven't done it yet on here. I don't believe. Maybe we did. No, we did it one episode. When I've even changed my blinding up a little bit now where if I'm getting something new.
Yep.
I don't even taste it at all. The first time I'm tasting it is in a blind against 2 or 3 other things.
Yep.
So that way I truly, because I mean, if you taste something, you taste it, see what it's like, then you put it next to a blind. I mean, you're still still have that preconceived notion. So I really want to try to do that, but it's hard to do because we are trying to give tasting notes. What do we smell? What do we nose? What do we taste?
Right.
This one though, there's no going back and blinding it like right now. If I were to blind you guys 2 weeks from now, it might be something different.
Right.
But this is such a distinct flavor, so medicinal cherry. There's nothing I could pour you tonight and mix glasses up 2 and 3 and mix them left and right. You can still pull it out. This is very, very, very distinctive.
Massive.
Very distinctive. Flavor bomb.
Yeah. So my precious, this is would you pass, try, or buy on the Four Roses Barrel Strength Happy Father's Day bottle?
Happy Father's Day. I want to keep it alive and go first on this one again.
No,
you want to go first?
I'll go first. All right. So this is a very nice barrel pick for Four Roses.
Right.
However, it is quite expensive, even on secondary, and I am going to be a try on it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because keep in mind, regular single barrel strength at the distillery is 99.
99.
Our pick that Liquor Box had
Right.
was $140 if you bought the bottle by itself.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it was.
But $99 for a traditional. This is $199.
Right.
So yes.
And even secondary.
Secondary is
way high.
cheapest you're going to find is $650 to $750 secondary.
And I don't think
There are several moved recently at $850.
Yeah, I don't think my palate wants to endure that price tag with
There you go.
with this bottle.
100%
No, I like
totally
that.
fair, man.
So,
Totally fair.
I didn't dislike it. Like I said, the flavor in your mouth was huge.
Right.
But as far as the price point and what kind of my personal enjoyment out of it,
Right.
I was going to be a try
Okay.
on it.
So I'm going to go next because I want Kenny to kind of be, I think, in a defensive position here because I can tell from the tasting and nosing that you really enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
And I am leaning right now. I think it's excellent whiskey. But when you mention MGP, you put some thought in my head, okay? Do you remember when we had that bottle from that Maryland, wherever they're like sourcing or keeping
Yeah. The
seal
Laura
box?
Lee 16 year.
Laura Lee 16 year.
There you go.
This is lining up to be a on steroids version of Laura Lee 16 to me. And that it wasn't something I liked because it had a medicinal cherry note, which I tend to gravitate toward cherry. I'm kind of a cherry whore, actually. I like cherry flavored whiskey, but I think I like cherry when it has more caramel and vanilla in it. This is very cherry. And then the oak still comes into my palate anyway as being a little bit bitter, a little astringent on the finish. And so for me, I'm not going to dog on this whiskey, but I'm also going to say it's a try because it's a $200 bottle at retail. And the secondary, I would wholeheartedly pass. I'm just going to say that. And I hope that in the future, Kenny, whether it's on this podcast or not, you line up some big dog, hard hitter, $800 bottle versus this because I will eat my words. But as I sit here tonight, I am impressed, but I'm not like overwhelmed. Like, man, I'm really sad I missed out on that. You know?
Do you think, is this bottle like a one-trick pony? Because you get in the cherry, but we both kind of agree there's a lot of oak in it.
Right.
That it kind of mutes everything else out.
That's for my palate, but again, I'm not. It's hard when you compare palates to one another because, like, you know, Kenny's tastes a lot of whiskey. I know there are nights when I've gone. You know, we started with that orange Jim Beam that could have messed me up.
I mean, Kenny, they're not only one up from there, right?
Yeah, you can only go up from here. Yeah, what do you think, man? I want school us to the game here, man. Tell us what we're missing here.
No, I mean, after tasting it, it's good, but I'd just pass.
Come on, really? That's not what I.
Oh, he's serious.
Is he serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? You
Dude,
pass?
Dude, I mean, it's $200, bro. I'm gonna pass.
Dang, I did not
Jeez.
see that coming, man.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Jeez, holy cow! You can create the drama, can't you? I mean, we were calling it flavor bomb, everything else. I'm like, you're convincing. He still convinced me almost that he was going to say actually pass on that.
So it's one of those things where I really wish the blind tonight I would have done a 2023 George T. Stagg.
Okay.
Because that's 16-year 135. This is 16 135. This would be more a little bit oakier,
Right.
a little more medicinal cherry than that one. But man, I think this might stand out pretty big in our blinds for 2024.
Oh, that's
So I
a good
really
point.
don't know if I'm going to blind you with it again until we have it in our blinds, assuming it makes the blinds because, you know.
It'll make the blinds.
Well,
I think it's good.
no,
to
dude,
make
here's the thing.
blinds.
Remember, I think this year we're going to do the same format as last year.
Yeah.
So each person will submit 6 or 8 bottles, and then Shannon will weed through them and decide what makes it into the top. So, but man, I just think this is so just unique and just rich and it's like just roaring.
I gave you that.
I think it will stand out but it's not like, even though it's 135 proof, you can feel the heat in your chest.
Right.
I still don't get an ethanol pop.
Oh yeah,
I do not get an ethanol pop
No.
at 135 proof on this.
Have you noticed my criticism was not about taste and alcohol?
Yeah.
My criticism was about the oak.
But I thought it
more
would
so.
be that ethanol pop. It's not. You can feel it in your chest a little bit, but
Right.
So I think this will stand out on its own. I mean, personally, myself, definitely at retail, I'm a buy, and I just honestly, I bought several at 500 and
Right.
550. So
Right.
myself personally, I'm a buy on this. But I do enjoy a little bit older age whiskeys. I like a little oak in the whiskey.
Right.
I love like my Evan Williams 23 year. It's got a little oakier to it.
I like the Evan Williams 23 Dusties you got.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying.
I don't mind some of the oak.
I could have one whiskey. No, just kidding.
So this will be dumb statement because obviously it might be a duh.
No.
But are you a buy on secondary on the low end versus the high end?
Like
If you saw this for like
so the high's been 850.
okay, if you saw for like 800, would you still buy it?
No, because I passed on some at 650 and 700.
Because you knew you can get it on it because it wasn't worth the extra.
I'm probably a 550 to 6
Max?
I'm probably a 550 to 6 max.
Okay.
That's really good perspective, though. Like,
And here's
that's a really good question.
Honestly, no, that's a great question, Stephen.
Yeah.
And that question leads into some of the blinds I did on this.
Okay.
So last week, Anthony actually had you blind me.
Oh yeah. I was in no business to be blind to anybody.
I was in no business to be drinking it, bro.
as my
None.
phone that
Zero.
night could tell you guys.
Yes, yeah, right, exactly.
After that night, my son took a video of me up there eating, and let's just say I was fading in and out.
You were having a good time.
I was fading in and out.
He's
Nice
like,
time.
this is my
Yes.
father.
Yeah.
Happy
So-
Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
I tasted this at J-Hub. Took my bottle there and cracked it. Shared it.
Yep.
And then four days later, I had you blind me.
Right.
And so what I did was I blinded the 20-year special
Yeah,
release.
the one for the gift shop.
For the gift
Yeah,
shop.
yep.
Okay, not the pappy then, huh?
I blinded the 18.5-year holiday K release,
Right.
the 16-year 6-month flood release, and this special release. Blinded all 4 of them. What finished first for me was this.
Really?
So that night when you blinded, that's what finished first was this.
You're right. I have video evidence of this
Yes.
in case anybody's
So-
not.
But I don't know. I mean, from what I heard, I don't know if we can take this with a grain of salt. If we can take this with a grain of salt.
But that
We're
finished
talking a big game, Kenny, but
first. And then I was very surprised that the holiday and the 16-year flood bottles,
Right.
they were second and third. I can't remember which one was second, which one was third.
So 20 was last?
20 was last, even though I love 20.
wow.
Even though I love 20.
I was going to say 20, but I haven't
20's
tasted
great.
the other one. So
But so the reason why I did pass on a few of these at I think was it 700, whatever I passed at, because you can still get holidays for 550-ish.
right.
You can, you can get the flood bottles at 550-ish.
Okay.
You can get holiday 600, so that's why, granted, even though this finished first for me, it's still in that same realm.
Right.
So I didn't want to go 700, but so probably 650 is my max personally.
Okay.
But
I like that.
That's
Do
where
it,
I was
do
at.
it.
Now, for the blind tonight,
Yes, sir.
where were y'all at on the blind as far as which one you like better, this or the blind, or?
I actually think that I like the blind a little bit better.
Okay.
To me, it was effervescent cola, a little bit more rich. Not rich, sorry. Nothing is more rich than the other thing that we had. Just
You're able to get more flavors out of it.
more flavors, yeah.
Wasn't just like a big.
Not one big
Yeah.
one. Yeah, not a
The
big
other
Steven,
one
I
was
think you
a-
like the blind better too.
yeah, the other one was, I mean, like I said, it was a big flavor.
Yeah.
And it kind of was almost not overwhelming, but it was like,
It was intense.
it was intense.
No, it's intense.
So the other one was,
Revisit it.
you could dissect it a little
Keep in
bit
mind, they
more.
have never put something out that high proof.
Yeah.
I know.
Ever.
And I almost feel like there's a moment where I'm gonna appreciate.
You just
that
made it-
whiskey
you
at
just
some
made it
time.
a-
I just don't know when I'm gonna appreciate it.
I think you'll appreciate it this December
Okay.
in our best
In
of
our
2020
blinds,
24
yeah.
blinds. Man, I
Okay.
really do.
Okay.
With that statement, you just made it a collector's item then.
There you go. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It already is.
So the blind tonight is the 20-year visitor center bottle. So that was the blind.
I knew
Well-
I knew it was a Four Roses.
And it's still great,
Yeah.
man.
You
It's
know what's
great.
crazy
It's awesome.
about that? I've only had that when you were kind enough to share it with me a long time ago. And
Yeah.
I remember really liking it.
It's good, man.
I don't remember what it tastes like, so I do think that that's crazy.
What's
So-
the proof on that, Steven? I didn't on that one.
57.3.
57, so
it's
114.
lower proof.
It's a 114 versus 135. Yeah. But no, so I'm a buy. I can
Slow
totally.
low.
I can totally. I mean, I can see people passing. You know, I wouldn't pass, but I can see people passing because, you know, at that proof, if you don't like that deep, dark, dank, rich, why pay $200 at retail when for $100 at retail you can get some other single barrels? But to
Right.
me, this just stands out, man.
But let's
This
be
is-
honest.
This
If
is freaking unique to me, man.
If I'm at Four Roses Distillery at the point of purchase, I'm still buying it. I'm not like, and I don't even know how many other 5 other barrels, 6 barrels.
I think it might have been 8 barrels.
8 barrels.
Maybe. I gotta
So
look and see.
that's the other thing with this 8 barrels. Which barrel are you getting? So you can't dismiss the whole release or say anything. So yes,
So
I'm not going to lie and say that I wouldn't buy it if I was there. I would have
Yeah.
bought it, but after trying it tonight, I'm gonna try. So
Yep. And funny story. So while I was there, when I got in the line, there was a guy in front of me, a couple years younger than me. So he's probably in his 60s. But anyway, no. So a guy a couple years younger than me. And he was there with his wife, and it looked like his wife's parents maybe.
okay.
And they were from Tennessee. They were
unfortunate.
here.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Surprised they found their way up here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, they're with a tour, so there's some kind
okay,
of
that's why.
Bourbon Boys tour or something. Bourbon something tours, and so
Can you imagine Kenny on a bus, a chartered bus? Doing a tour?
boy,
Good night.
Pocket pours.
Yeah, no kidding.
boys. But they're like a little tour guy was with them as well, and they were on that thing, so they had a tour, but they were in line, and so the guy came back and said, "Hey, this big line is for the bottle they're releasing, so we can bypass the line and start our tour up here." Well, the guy was like, and I told the guy, I'm like, "Look, dude, it's like you don't understand. This is a special bottle.
Yeah.
This is the highest proof they've ever released. It's pretty old." And so he literally, I said literally.
Literally alert.
No, so
Do we need like a coin bottle in the middle of the table for you?
now you need a big hammer just to bonk me in the head. with it.
We fined him 50 cents. There you go.
He stayed in line for the bottle, and his family went and did the tour without him. I told him he had to, man.
That's awesome.
And he did.
This guy.
He did.
Well, he made a smart decision.
Well, we were small
But isn't
talking
that-
about stuff,
isn't
and
that
he was talking
great?
about, you know, they had a tour later on that day for Buffalo Trace. And he talked about, you know, the Weller single barrel and CYPB, and he's got all the other Wellers, blah blah blah. And so the actual tour guide came back. He's like, "Look, I talked to them up there. Once we start the tour, you've got about 5 to 10 minutes before we leave the building. Once we leave the building, you cannot catch back up with us. You have to wait until we get done." And he was like, and he was stressing about it. I'm like, "Look, dude, you just told me you're quote unquote chasing the orange single barrel and the white CYPB. I said, this bottle is freaking going to be 100 times rarer than one of those. I was like, so you have to stay in line and get this bottle. If you don't, you're freaking crazy. So he stayed in line.
He listened
So
to you.
It was good. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So shout out to the dude from Tennessee that just like abandoned his whole family to stay in line for bottles.
Kenny split up family since
That's good stuff.
1965. Just kidding.
I'm not going to say that I offered to buy us bottles or not, but
That's what it was. It was
The ploy. And with that, thanks for listening to this week's edition. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY.
Don't forget to visit our partner, bourbonoutfitter.com. Enter code The Mashup for a special discount.
Also,
Head on over to our partner, the Woodwork Collective, at woodworkcollective.shop. Enter code MASHUP for a 15% discount.
let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.